It was round number 3 of the Nurburgring Endurance Championships, and once again we entered the event under the Damien Cross Vipers livery, and yeah, I was really excited for this one, having won the previous round. And once again, I just thought I would put out this little kind of recap video, because I appreciate that not everybody can watch a 5-hour live stream. So yeah, I kind of like to do these videos, I think, when we do these big endurance races, just to have a bit of a recap and a summary as to what went on. Before we get into this one though, I just want to give a massive shout out to Peter. He was in the last round in the chat doing spotting work, and he actually said to me this time, you know what, I'll come on board and do a live spotting for you. And I said, only if you want to, because he is the other side of the Atlantic and he is 8 hours behind. But literally, he finished his shift at work at midnight and came straight on and spotted for me for the best part of the 5 hours. So yeah, massive shout out to Peter. Give him a little plug. Too Many Peter Sim Racing on YouTube. Link down in the description. Go and show him some love, guys, because he did an absolutely fantastic job throughout this one. But anyway, let's go and jump into it and have a little recap of what went on during the race. Before we jump into the action, let's just take a look how things stacked up after qualifying. So yeah, we actually did a 9:01.362, which is about 1.5 seconds quicker than what we went in qualifying in the previous round. So yeah, I've been obviously getting to grips with the new wheel, and I feel like I've found quite a bit of pace with the new wheel, feeling a lot more of the track now that I've got a direct drive. So we managed to go 3 seconds quicker than a Triple S Racing. They did a 9:04.2. And in third place, our camshaft run on software, that is our good friend Caswell Parker from the previous round, the guy who he was chasing down towards the end there. He qualified in P3 with a 9:07.2. And then just team in P4 with a 9:09. The other 4 teams didn't set a lap time. So yeah, that's how qualifying stacked up. But anyway, let's jump over to the sim and take a look at how things unfolded during the race. Okay, here we are then for the race start on the grid. So this was really interesting for me. Obviously I'm on pole. I want to leave the space for the GT4s, and we've got P2 there who has just sort of gone on with the GT4s. So I start moving, but I'm like going to everybody like in chat and like the Peter on spotting. I'm like, should I catch up with them? Should I leave the gap? What should I do? Because, you know, clearly I'm on pole. And Peter was like, you know what, just let him do his thing. If he gets a penalty, he gets a penalty, sort of like for overtaking before the green. So yeah, I'm not trying to close up to the GT4s too much at this point. Just sort of hanging the back something. I'm getting far too close here. P3, 4 there next to me as well, thinking, okay, well, I'm going to pull up to the side here as well. And then I think Chandler kind of realises, actually, I need to, you know, drop back a little bit more and give a bit more space. But I was quite aware of what happened in the first one. I got caught napping as the racing went green. So I was ready to go. And there we go green, and yeah, I was just slowly starting to build up speed just before we went green. So yeah, managed to pull away quite nicely in that one. We take a look at what's going on behind though. We've got Chandler and Parker actually battling here, and I'm actually thinking, you know what, Chandler's kind of shown his hand here that he's potentially gonna just try and run with it. So I moved over and tried to give Parker the draft, but we managed to pull away quite a bit down this little bit here. A little bit of contact there as Caswell gets punted from Chandler. Let's go to a bit of a better view though here, because there's even more carnage that goes on into turn 1, which I didn't see at the time. So yeah, looking back here, let's actually go on board with Caswell Parker. So you can see I've got quite a bit of a gap down to turn 1. Parker's up in P2, and Chandler goes to the insides, and then Parker just gets absolutely punted into the side there and at the front. Bit messy, completely messy, and yeah, that actually gave Parker a meatball, which was really unfortunate for him, because I was kind of hoping that, you know, we could have a bit more of a battle and I could get that position on track this time around. But yeah, really unfortunate for Parker. He got a meatball, so he had to trundle around the lap with damage. But yeah, that's basically the start of the race. So we'll go back on board now if we can catch up with ourselves. And yeah, this was a really good battle. So I was thinking, like, looking at my qualifying pace, okay, we're going to do all right here. We'll be able to pull away quite a bit. But no, it really wasn't the case at all. We'll fast forward the time here, because this battle pretty much went on for the best part of... It's maybe a bit quick. This battle went on for the best part of 8 laps or so. And... you know, initially I was pulling away on this first lap, and I was thinking, yeah, okay, I'm slowly building the gap. We were sort of getting towards the end of the lap, and I was almost 2 seconds ahead. And then for whatever reason, in that just final sector, right before the Dossinger, he just really closed up to within a second, and he just managed to stay in the draft at like the crucial moment. And yeah, I just wasn't able to break the toe. As you can see there, he just kind of like really kind of closed up quite a lot. So yeah, it was definitely game on here as we kind of now decide to go battling for this first stint. But it was so much fun, such enjoyable racing. It's probably 8 of the most fun laps I've ever done. Like, A, trying to get away from this guy, but also B, we swapped over at one point, and so I was kind of like chasing and putting him under the pressure just to see if I could make him crack. There was a bit of back and forwards going on at time to time where we were kind of trading positions. But I just couldn't understand at the time why he was so quick now, because we were 3 seconds quicker than him on a single lap, which, okay, fair enough, single lap pace. You don't know what fuel laps people were running. I was definitely running only 2 laps of fuel. But yeah, he gets us here. We get him back down into turn 1. And yeah, it was really, really fun, close battling. He's flashing his lights, trying to distract me from behind. But yeah, no, it was... It's really, really good battling this one. Really enjoyable. But it was just, like I said, that moment in my mind was like, so was he really sandbagging in qualifying? Has he really got this pace? Why is he so quick? Then we got a little bit of traffic coming through, and okay, maybe I can use the traffic to kind of create a bit of a gap, which I created a little bit of a gap. But again, it just wasn't enough, and he just seemed really, really quick in this final sector, like being able to sort of close it up. Whenever I kind of tried to extend the gap a little bit and thought I'd got the gap extended, I'd make a mistake and invite him straight back in again. So yeah, we started to pull there. Obviously I've gone on to lap 4 here. I think it's lap 4. There was a bit of a distance, and like I say, once again, like, it looks like now I'm starting to pull the distance. But yeah, just mistakes came in, and just he was able to claw it back. But such fun racing. It was very, very clean throughout as well. You know, we didn't have any contact at all, and considering like how close we were driving to each other at times, it was yeah, it was just really surprising. So testament to like how well myself and Chandler were both driving. So this is lap number 5, and this is like our first time we conceded the lead here to Chandler. And I had previously said, like, I did a half distance practice race the night before, and I just don't know, I was really struggling getting into the carousel. I don't know why. So I don't know if I was just like being over conscious of that, but yeah, we just popped out the carousel. So I just like took it around the top, and yeah, we conceded the lead. But now at this point, like I said earlier, it is now my time to think, okay, now it's my time to get you under pressure and see how we can force you into any mistakes. And yeah, like I said, it was very, very fun following Chandler, trying to put him under pressure. I was, you know, sort of flashing my lights at him because I'd seen he was doing it to me, just trying to distract him, get as close as I can to him in some of these corners, to just try and put him under real pressure. And you see we're really, really close behind him here. But yeah, with it being so early on in the race, I wasn't really panicking too much. I was just sort of like, yeah, we'll just, you know, carry on. We'll drive behind him, put him under pressure, see what he does. But fair play to him, he didn't really crack under the pressure at all. Just, you know, just driving as closely as I can behind him, not in no real rush to get past him, giving him space, you know, where we'd potentially close up. And yeah, nice bit of traffic there, which manages to get out of the way. But yeah, just constantly keeping up that pressure as we then take it down the Dossinger. But at the time I was thinking, okay, maybe he's just going to like draft straight back past me. But no, that wasn't the case at all. So yeah, we took the position, and then, you know, it was pretty much the same. He was back on me through that first sector. I don't think I had a great like GP track section. So he came back past me, just let him pass me. No, you know, no real pressure. And yeah, just carried on what we were doing the previous lap, really. But yeah, it was great fun. Great fun. I think at this point as well, we were like such a gap back to P3, sorry. I wasn't looking at, I didn't have my relatives on at all because obviously Pete was doing the spotting for me and let me know. So I completely turned my black box off so I could focus on driving. As you can see there, I'm just trying to bide my time there and wait so he doesn't get a draft down the Dottinger. But yeah, I think at one point we were, 20 to 30 seconds around here ahead of P3. So, as much as we were like battling hard, I don't feel like our lap times were struggling too much and suffering from the battling. So yeah, no, that was sort of like great fun and a good start to the race. I think like this lap here, Chandler has already boxed because he was running on fluid. He messed his fuel up, which was kind of interesting because we was all kind of wondering at the time, is he just trying to go for the alternate strategy? Maybe he was trying to box early because we had all this traffic coming through on us. But no, like I say, he said after the race that he messed up his fuel and that's why he boxed early and was potentially so quick in that first sector compared to his qualifying times. But I was really interested to see like what his pace would be like once he came out of the pits, not following us so quickly behind and not in the draft. So I did wonder whether or not it was me that was dragging him along so much. So on to lap number 9, and this is where the first real moment of the race happened for me. So we're coming here down what I call the back straight on the uphill section, the long uphill section. We've got some traffic behind us. And we're sticking to the inside here, leaving plenty of room. Pull over, obviously, to the draft. And there is a car coming up behind us, which obviously is coming up pretty quickly. So I'm sort of trying to move to the inside. The guy just goes to the inside as well. And as you can see, just completely hits us on the inside. Okay, so here we are on board with the other car that actually made the contact. So yeah, obviously the closing speed is going to be great. But I'm just coming off the corner, moving towards the inside. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I moved too late here. I'm sort of moving across here, and it's always going to be a closing gap. I've no idea why he decided at this point to go for this gap. Given that there's a kink here, being the following driver of a faster car, I'll always get frustrated with like fast drivers in multi-class racing when things like this happen. But anyway, regardless, being the faster car, and given that it's like 2 kinks here, with a 3rd kink just after the second, he should like read this a lot better. I mean, at this point, he's still turning this way. I'm starting to move out, I think, at this point. But the gap's always going to close. I mean, I've come off the corner, and it's not like I'm hugging the outside. My plan here was to move to the inside and keep it on the inside. But I just felt like he's like potentially always driving into a closing gap. But the thing is, he keeps his foot in as well. That's the frustrating thing. It's like he's made no effort to stop here. He's just kept his foot in. It's like, oh, punt. I don't care that you're there. And this is, I think, what I find frustrating about the multi-class race with the faster cars is a lot of them just have no consideration for the slower class cars. It's just like, you're in my way, get out the way. I mean, this is the number 1 driver as well. So I don't know if he's like, maybe he's probably chasing down for like the 2 cars in front, which I completely get. But I don't think this sort of driving in multi-class racing is acceptable. Whether or not my car's in the right position on the track, I don't know. Like I said, I was going to take the inside, give him the outside, thinking he'd be wanting to set up for the faster corner. But yeah, just keeps his foot in and completely punts to me. I mean, thankfully, we weren't punted into the barrier. But yeah, pretty hairy moment, that one. The first real hairy moment of the race for me. Okay, so we pitted at the end of lap 10. This is the start of lap 11, coming out of the pits. And obviously there's the big wonder of where we're going to come out in relation to Chandler. Well, the answer is right here. We're coming out the pit lane. That's Chandler right there. That is Chandler. So it's close. It's very, very close. Obviously, he's got a bit of momentum on me here because he's got the speed down the pit lane. So yeah, at this point, I'm like really optimistic. Okay, yes, let's go. We can recommence this battle. Obviously, his tyres are a bit warmer. We got cold tyres. But we can really see, because I assumed he would have like filled up the fuel all the way. So he had a fuel tank of fuel. He's a couple of laps less now than me because I'm on the full tank of fuel. I'm thinking, right, let's do this. Let's see what sort of pace you've got, Chandler. Let's see whether or not, I was pulling you along in that draft. So let's say first lap here and cold tyres, so we're not getting the best Very scruffy kind of opening to the lap here. And yeah, just thinking about trying to bring them up without pushing too much, but the back of my mind, I can see that guy there, and I'm like, I want to put him under pressure. I want to put him under pressure. So maybe I am pushing a little bit harder here than I normally would have done on an opening stint like this. But I think just sometimes it's hard to turn off. That racer's instinct just kicks in, and you're like, yes, we can do this. We got this. Come on, let's recommence this battle that was so much fun. But yeah, so we go wide in the chicane here. Give him a little bit of time there. But entering onto the Nord section here off the GP layout. Just really kind of just trying to find any sort of time. But as you can see, I'm just pushing a little bit too hard now. I'm just getting a little bit too ragged on these cold tyres. See, just taking a bit too much curb here and there. Chandler actually goes off there. I didn't know that at the time. So he goes off there. Probably got to slow down, but we've just massively messed it up here. Managed to keep it out of the barrier, but yeah, just pushing way, way too hard. And I was really flapping at this point, trying to get the right gear. I just kept putting it in reverse. I couldn't get it into first gear. So yeah, pushing too hard. And, you know, we probably had the opportunity there to take Chandler as well, because he made the mistake, which didn't see, and probably got a slow down for that. One thing to note as well is I didn't take the fast repair at the box either. I didn't think the damage was too bad at the time. So, yeah, we decided not to take the fast repair. So we've still got the damage on the back end, which, I don't know, I don't want to make excuses, but it could have maybe contributed, because I did find that the car on these fresh tyres was a little bit slidey in the right-handers. The back end just kind of seemed to step out a little bit too much. But yeah, I'm, you know, a little bit annoyed and frustrated with myself at this point, and thinking, yeah, okay, we was there, we've messed this up, but still a long way to go. This is only lap 11 of a 27 lap race. Yeah, thinking, you know, may need to just adjust on these tyres, these fresh tyres, with that little bit of sort of oversteer that we're getting at the bottom on the right-handers. But yeah, we go and drop it again, same lap. I don't know if it was like the call out for the GT3 coming behind that I kind of panicked a little bit. But yeah, didn't lose as much time this time around, but in the grand scheme of it, it dropped us back about 25 seconds to Chandler. So there was a lot of work now to be done if we wanted to catch up to Chandler and have a battle again for P1. Only a few laps later, though, the gap would come dramatically down. On lap 14, Chandler actually made a bit of a mistake going into this slow sort of section here. Just goes out too quickly and, yeah, actually hits the wall himself there. And that actually gave him a meatball. So we knew that he would have to come in and pit. Interesting, though, he opted not to take it straight away, because you don't have to serve it for 3 laps across the line. So he dragged that out. I think he was probably trying to minimize the fact that he didn't want to make an extra stop, because this was only lap 14 and you would not get another 13 laps out of a tank of fuel. So I think at this point he was thinking, okay, if I can drag this out for 3 laps, then I box, I can refuel a full tank, and then I won't have to stop again. But yeah, he still had his fast repair at this point as well. So, you know, I knew it was just going to be a kind of like a quick stop and box. But yeah, no, it was really good, because I was back in that positive mindset again now that, you know, he's got damage, he's going to be a little bit slow, we're going to be catching up. And yeah, it really reinvigorated me knowing that that distance and that gap to P1 was going to come down again. And you know, in a couple of laps time, we were potentially going to be retaking the lead of the race. So we decided to box at the end of lap 20 like we would do on our normal running plan, and fill up to the end. We took the quick repair that we didn't use at the first stop, so I'm pretty sure I'd taken another little wall hit or something. I couldn't find it in the replay, but I think that I had taken a little bit more damage for whatever reason. So yeah, we took our fast repair to get the car back to full strength. But as we leave the pit lane, we are out in P1. Chandler is actually just behind me, about 5 or 6 seconds, I think. He was just coming over the line now. I can just see him actually on my third monitor there, coming down to turn 1. So yeah, we had a 6 or 7 second gap. So now I was kind of really determined, thinking, okay, well, we know Chandler's going to be lighter on fuel. His tyres aren't going to be as good as ours, though, because he had to pit early for that meatball. And, yeah, let's see if he actually has got the pace. He's not in the draft like he was in that opening stint, but can we pull away and extend the gap? So, yeah, it was very much a case of, you know what, this time around, let's remember the cold tyres. Let's just get them up to temperature, not take any too many risks, and then we can really start to push on the next lap. And yeah, it went really well, to be fair. We managed to get the tyres up. We didn't make any mistakes on this out lap. It was a really solid out lap. And from there on in, we were just able to build a little bit more pace, lap after lap after lap. And yeah, we were comfortably the quickest car on track at this point. And yeah, it was looking very, very comfortable from here to get our second win and make it back-to-back wins here at the NEC. So we move on to the penultimate lap of the race, and we've just come through the concretion and up the hill, and we're going down to the kind of these slow corners here, this kink. And this point we was 42 seconds ahead of Chandler, cruising to the flag, and yeah, this happened. So it's, yeah, I'm still really angry with myself. I know it's only, and I don't like to use the term for this because I know people get upset, but it's only a game, and it's not real life. But yeah, I was absolutely distraught at this moment in time. I think as well as, I didn't really look at it like this before, but I think probably what's compounded my distraughtness even more so now that I didn't see before is the fact that didn't look too dissimilar a hit from what Chandler had taken. And he was able to carry on with his meatball. But I think there you can probably see, actually, I've got a puncture, actually. So, yeah, damage on the front. What it seemed like happened was they were still driving the engine, but I don't know if like the drive shaft or something had disconnected from the front, because although I could rev the engine, there was just no turning those wheels for whatever reason. But anyway, let's go and take a quick look at this from a couple of different angles. Let's look at the rear chase here. So we've got the traffic here, and Peter called out the traffic, so you know it's not anything. Peter did his job absolutely fine. There's no blame on Peter whatsoever. He called it out, and I said, was it a GT3 or GT4? Because I like to kind of know which one it is for to judge the closing speeds. But you can see here, they're gaining on me here. We take the kink, and my plan here is to take the inside and let them go around the outside on the racing line. So we take the kink, so I move into the inside, and at this moment, the GT3 starts janking to the left, where I am also turning, and this spooked me. This absolutely spooked me, and this is what caused the incident. So at this point, I'm turning the opposite direction. I'm on the brakes, but I think I just locked the brakes up. There was nothing I could have done there. I was just a passenger at that point. And at that point, you know, the GT3's kind of backed out the move, gone to the outside, but for me, it's too late. I'm into the barrier. And you see that front left is just looking very, very loose and disconnected from the rest of the car. So I don't feel like the GT3 did anything wrong per se. You know, they didn't force me off the road. They didn't do anything like that. It was more of a case that they just went for that almost look down the inside, and it completely threw me. So watching on board with them here, so yeah, just gets that extra speed through the kink. But obviously there's two corners close together. I mean, it's all right for me to say this, but I would have then been just like holding back, getting through this corner complex and then gone for it. But, so yeah, he's come off the corner. Actually, looking at this, I've not looked at this angle before. He's come off the corner and he hasn't kinked to the left. He just hasn't stopped steering at that point there. And then I think he's realised that I was moving. So then sort of gets out of it a little bit. I'm on the brakes, and yeah. Just really, really unfortunate for me. Yeah, just one of those things, unfortunately. It's racing. It's very cruel at the best of times. And as much as you've kind of put in all the time and the effort to have a good race. You know, even when you think you've got it sewn up and in the bag, it's not always the case, and things can go horribly wrong. So yeah, bit of a learning curve for me. I need to probably have a bit more of an analysis of this and what happened here to try and learn from it, so that it doesn't actually happen again. But of course, this point here, we had to tow back to the pits with a very broken front wheel. See, I got a little bit of drive there, but that wheel's very broken. There was no doing anything there. So yeah, we had to tow back to the pits, which was 6 minutes, and then that gave us the white flag, and then there was 5 minutes of mandatory repairs. So yeah, that was our race done. We didn't take the checkered flag on track, but we were enough ahead of P4 to keep P3. So yeah, Chandler, ironically enough, despite all of the talking about like his fuel and everything that he messed it up, he actually had to do a splash and dash for the last lap as well. So he actually came in the pits behind us at one point to get that extra lap of fuel. He managed to get out. I was watching him on board his final lap though. He was very, very scruffy. He was like off tracks and everything. I don't know if he was just like trying to do anything and everything just to keep it on track. It looked like he had a bit of damage as well. But yeah, managed to hold on just from Parker. Parker was actually closing him down quite well in the final stage of the race. He was sitting in P3 at this point. So yeah, Chandler took the win with Parker in P2, me in P3. So on the face of it, it's really, really good. You know, in this now, we've taken a first, a second, a third. We've not been off the podium in all 3 events, which is really, really good. But there's always that niggle and doubt in the back of your mind because, in my opinion, I should have probably won all 3 events. So, yeah, massively disappointed that we haven't got 3 race wins under our belt in this. But if nothing else, it just reinvigorates me now. I'm going to take a few weeks off from the Nurburgring. You know, the next event isn't for another 8 weeks. So we've got the opportunity now to actually, you know, disengage, just forget about it, recharge our batteries, and then come back in 2 or 3 weeks to start preparing again for the next round, round number 4. Which, you know, I've got a bit more time this time as well to actually get a bit more up to speed on the wheel around here. So fingers crossed, you know, we'll be able to come back just as strong in the next event and, yeah, redeem ourselves from, you know, the mistake we made in this one. So yeah, there we go, guys. That was basically an overview of the race and how it all unfolded. You know, I had a chat with Chandler and Caswell after the race, and they were both like, you know, really, really sorry for you. They kind of looked at the incident and they said, yeah, no, I'm absolutely gutted for you. But I said, I don't really think the GT3 did anything wrong. They took the corner. They continued to hold the left. They didn't like jank out how it appeared to me. I hadn't seen that on board till I just watched it there either. So, yeah, I might have been better to stay on the inside line rather than try and like get out of the GT3's way. But I think, you know, in those split-second moments, you make those decisions, and because it is like that, the click of a finger when you make those decisions, you just have to accept the decision that you've made and roll with it. And yeah, just unfortunately, that was the wrong one. If I'd have kept on the inside and just slowed the car down normally, even if we'd have got a little bit of a tap from behind it, I still don't think it probably would have been as race defining as you know, going the other way and staying out of the trouble. But yeah, like I said, it's racing. It happens, and you just have to take the positives, learn from the mistakes, and bounce back even stronger in the next event. So thank you very much, everybody, though, for watching. I really do appreciate it. And thank you very much for everybody who came out to the live streams and supported. Thanks once again to Peter. Like I said before, Too Many Peter Sim Racing, link down below in the description if you want to go and check him out. Awesome guy. Does a lot of PCC and GT4 racing. So yeah, go and show him some love on behalf of me. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a like. And if you do want to see more racing action from me, make sure to hit subscribe, because there'll be plenty more coming real soon. If you want to get involved with the action on iRacing, head down the description where there's a link, and hopefully I'll see you on track real soon. But until the next one, guys, thank you very much. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. See ya.